Before I get started here, I wired this room. I built a room off of the main house just for the shack here, and I rewired it with the big 200 amp wire, and then I used 6-gauge wire for my amplifiers, and then I used no less than 10 gauge even on my 120 outlets, and I don't know how many outlets in here, and they're all on individual breakers with a sub panel box, so nothing is starving. Alrighty, good evening everyone, and welcome to another Tuesday night edition, pre-net edition of the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Net. Hope everybody had a great day. We got a wet, soggy day here in Villa Rica. It's 60.4 degrees and 98% humidity. So, anyway, let me tell you who I got on the list, then we're going to see if we get some people in here. I don't know if we're going to do an all-care salute now, Sam, or wait till we get some more in here, or we can do one now and do another one. As far as that goes, it don't matter. You can't do too many for a fine man in Ben, W4CT. Anyway, let me tell you what I've got on the list. I've been in and out of the room working on solar panels and pure sine waves and things like that, speaking of electricity. I got Dr. Ron on here. I heard him first this afternoon, GWA, and Mr. Perry, CWW, of course, Sam, THQ, Lenny, HUM, and Richard, WFL, and of course, Roy, I Diddle Diddle. Let's see if we can get people on here first, Sam. If we have any other people that'd like to get on the pre-net roster for this Tuesday night edition of the Southeastern AM Radio Club, please come now.
Whiskey 4, Charlie Delta, Juliet.
W Kilo 4, Bravo Kilo Charlie.
KA4, you know, I just KW4 TV. I'm turn on this thing. But now that I've cleaned
UK4 Oscar
KK4 EZQ
M4 IYQ.
a lot more accurate now, so it really responds well whenever I'm talking into it. So, and you know, I've had this thing for like a month and just now figured that.
Well, there we go. I found the right button. Let me tell you what I got out of that. I think I got everybody. I got CDJ, hey Dan, Virgil, RLJ, Bob, BKC, Eddie Brown, AMI, Manual TV, GZQ, that's Kevin at the None Such. Good to have him back. And I think it was N4 IYQ. I'm probably going to mess it up again, Chuck. I know who that is. That's Chuck. Anyway. Do we have anyone else that'd like to get on the pre-net roster at this time? Please come now. Okay, I heard Tom Whiskey 9 Tango Alpha Bravo, and there was somebody else that was either on sideband or up or down the band. If you're on sideband and like to join our net, click the AM button and try it again, sir. This is WA4KM.
Whiskey 4 Quebec there, over.
Okay, I'm looking at you. You're on lower sideband. We're on AM. I did get Whiskey something Quebec.
That's Whiskey 4 Quebec there, over.
Oh, I got you good now. There you are. Whiskey 4 Quebec. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. All righty. Well, at this time, guys, we've had a loss, and I'll call it family because we feel like we're family here on the Tuesday night SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Net. Ben up in Mentone, Ben, and of course everybody knows W4CT, a great, wonderful man and lots of knowledge, and along with his wife Susan, we'll go ahead and do one now, Sam. They're out for the net. We can do another one. Like I said, you can't do too much. Andy said when you send an all-care salute, the angels, the cycle goes on and on and on. And the angels in heaven where the angel music rejoices. And I believe that. Okay, guys, let's do an all-carrier salute to Ben, W4CT, if y'all don't mind. And we'll start that all-carrier salute right now. Alrighty, I should have said 30 seconds. I apologize, but that's kind of the rule of thumb. Thanks, guys, for that. I tell you, Mr. Ben is going to be missed from Mentone, Alabama. I know I'm sure going to miss him, and I know others will too. I can't just say what a great man he was. He was just, him and Miss Susan is going to be missed in the on the frequency. And speaking of that, I'm going to turn to you, Sam, see what your thoughts is on Ben, and if you got something you want to say, well, go ahead. We'll pick you up and start Ron Perry on down the list and try to pick up some others this evening. So KF4THQ, this is WA4KM.
All right, fine business, Kevin. WA4KM, Villa Rica, City of Gold. This is KF4THQ. Well, we've already done the first chapter of the All Care Salute to Ben, but I'm all for doing another one when we start the net again in a little while. So I think that'd be fine. And Ben was just a prince of a fellow, no doubt about it. Some of you may not be aware of this, but he was an ordained Presbyterian minister, and he also served as a counselor and the director of the children's home for, I can't remember, it was a woman, it was a children's home, and I think it was in Talladega maybe. But anyway, Brother Ben was quite a restorer. He loved to work on World War II equipment. That was his favorite thing. And Brother Ben was good at it. He'd get something and get that thing working, and it'd be putting out 25 watts or 30 watts or something like that, and you could hear him all everywhere. So there you go. But they had a board. He loved to sit there in Mentone, work on World War II equipment. That was Miss Susan's favorite thing. To this well, she's pretty savvy lady. I think she'll do fine. And they got a daughter and two fine grandsons, and they live up in Indiana. So maybe they'll get everything all worked out. I don't know what their plans are in terms of maintaining their dwelling and so forth, but Brother Ben, rest well. May the Lord put his hands upon you. You've earned it, my brother. Back to you, Kevin. WA4KM, KF4TXQ.
All right, Sam. I tell you, give me goosebumps on that one. That was good, and I'm sure Ben appreciated along with Miss Susan and the daughter and the grandkids. And I concur. What a great man, and he would get them old radios up and going. He loved it. All righty, let's see. Let me send it down there to Dr. Ron, and then we'll see if we can pick up a few more, and then I'll pick up Perry and Lenny and on down. So, Dr. Ron, WB4GWA, it's over to you, sir, for your comments. WA4K, I'm in the pre-net.
Well, okay, Kevin, WA4KM from WB4GWA, and I concur with Sam's comments. I've known Ben a long, long time, and he's been in my home, and we've visited quite often. And I was always struck by the gentle nature of Ben. He was always a steady, gentle soul, and I appreciated that about him. And certainly he did enjoy the restoration process. Just reminds me how transient this life is, and every time I hear about one of our friends passing on, it just reminds me that all of us are getting toward that finish line, and we ought to try as best we can to be like Ben, gentle, sweethearted people, and all of us make mistakes and all of that, but we can certainly do our best to be good people and try to wish the best for everybody that we know and everybody that we met would be his word to us as well. So I think if we can kind of pick up Ben's legacy and run with it and exhibit his gentle nature and his love for everybody, then that'll go a long way, especially among our crowd here. And So, Ben, we love you, brother, and we certainly will honor your memory and try to emulate your life. WA4KM from WB4GWA.
Amen to that, Brother Ron. Amen. Alrighty, well, let me see. I'll pick you up next, Perry, but let me see if we've got anyone else that would like to get on the pre-net for the Tuesday night Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net. If you'd like to get on the pre-net roster, please come now at this time. WA4KM.
Kilowatt November for Mike Echo.
Okay, hey, Dr. John. Good to hear you this evening. Anyone else?
W4CKH.
Oh, I can barely hear you. I think it was W4 something. Can you try it one more time, please, sir?
W4CKH. Whiskey 4
Okay, I got it that time. W4 Charlie Hotel. Okay, thank you, sir. Alrighty, Perry, it's down to you, sir, for your comments. K4CWW. This is WA4KM.
Okay, thanks, Kevin. WA4KM, K4CWW. Yeah, I guess, Ben started at Kirkland Clinic, but we were trying to get Will to get in over there, and Will was too late. He went downhill too fast. But we thought they had a really good doctor there that was attending Ben, and we had some high hopes for him. But he's dealing with the toughest of the tough in that pancreatic. But I've known Ben a very long time, and all I can say is, he was top notch. He was one of the best, and I think he did a lot of wonderful things in his lifetime, and I'm actually sure he's happy, maybe to the point of being totally joyful right now. Okay, well, I better let you pass it on around, Kevin. Thank you very much. Appreciate you doing the pre-net. Looking forward to the net. WA4KM, K4CWW.
Thank you, Perry. And I know, sir, you've been through a lot yourself with Will and being friends with Mr. Ben, and had a lot on your plate for sure. Alrighty, we'll break with Perry and see if Lenny's around. He's probably checking out on another net. But Lenny, K4HUM, are you there? This is WA4KM.
WA4KM. See if I can get this thing tamed down a little bit. Anyway, good to hear all y'all. And sorry to hear again. I really didn't know any more than just on the air. But from what everybody's saying, quite the gentleman, and we'll just pray that he has a safe travels to the afterlife there. But anyway, Kevin, thanks for picking up the pre-net, and everybody's sounding just wonderful tonight. The band's in great condition. Take care, everybody. I'll be in here listening on in. K4H1, WA4KM.
Okay, Lenny, I appreciate it. Yeah, there's no doubt. You can rest your mind assured that Ben's with the good Lord. I know that for a fact. He was a very spiritual man and a man of God, and he loved him. And there's no question there. He's, as the saying says, when you close your eyes and you open them, you will, Lord. That's about how quick it is. Alrighty, next on the list, let's see, let's pick up Richard, WB4WFL down there in Pensacola, or he's in Florida, it may not be, I think that may be Pace. Anyway, go ahead, Richard, this says WA4KM in the Tuesday night pre-net.
Yeah, this is W4WFL, and Kevin, Emmanuel, he claims to be on the highest mountain in Florida, but I'm
claiming to be the furthest west in Florida as far as the AM Net is concerned, because I'm only 3 miles from the Alabama state line, so I got a little claim to fame here myself. But anyway, I enjoyed listening to the comments, and I don't know the silent key that passed on. He sounds like that he was a very exceptional person, and I can imagine just the blink of an eye that we're here and into the Lord's hand. So I'm sure that he's a happy man today, and I guess y'all are going to miss him, and I think the tribute that you give to him has been wonderful. So anyway, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Kevin. Thanks for letting me in. This is W4WFO.
Okay, Richard, I appreciate it. I wrote that note on our Georgia-Florida line, the farthest west. Good to hear you, Richard. All righty, next on the list, let's see here. We're going to send it down there to Roy. Roy, what you got for the Tuesday night SAMRC swap fellowship net? By the way, you're 30 over. You're loud. W4I diddle diddle, this is WA4KM.
All right, thank you, Kevin. You do a great job with the pre-net, and I really enjoy being here when you're a net controller, pre-net controller. Well, I ain't got anything. This is W4I diddle diddle, Roy in Pensacola, and I'd love to say that I hope to live my life in the same way that Ben did, and he is a great example for all of us to get our thoughts and prayers together and follow after him, because I think Ben lived a great Christian life. And that's what it's all about, fellas. When it comes down, that's the bottom line right there. You can't go no further. Can't take it with you, so there you are. Well, I'm playing for the net, Kevin, or the pre-net, but I just wanted to get in here and get my name on the list and be a part of the program. You did a great job. Back to you. You're sounding great. W4I diddle diddle, Pensacola.
Okay, Roy. Well, thank you, sir, for the flowers. I sure appreciate it. Like I said, I've been around a lot of people for the years, and I won't go through the list. You know, Andy and Mr. Ben and some of those people, and they've helped me tremendous. I love AM and love everybody out there, too, and we just try to do the best we can and keep it professional and keep everybody happy. And it is a family. I know we're friends, but it's like an AM family, and that's the way I look at it, and some people may not, but that's just me. Speaking of that, let me see. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pick up Bob up there in Columbia, and then we'll take some check-ins and then pick up Ryan in Virgil. So, Bob, you may have some more time or something, or the day Mr. Ben, not real sure. I heard somebody say that you may know a little more, so should have probably picked you up, sir, first, and I apologize. So, up to you, Bob. Out of Columbia, K4BKC. This is WA4KM in the Tuesday night AM pre-net.
WA4KM, K4BKC. Well, Ben was a very close friend and a good man, and they don't have any arrangements yet, so as soon as they do, I'll put it out over the net. But Ben was a fine man, retired Presbyterian minister, husband, a father, grandfather, and a pilot, and a flight instructor. He was very knowledgeable in
he taught me a lot. And if we emulate Ben, we'll be doing good, and that is the absolute truth. And please, everyone, keep Susan in your thoughts and prayers, and as she goes through this W4YL. But thanks for running the pre-net, Kevin. Back to you. WA4KM, K4BKC.
Okay, Bob, appreciate that, and thanks for keeping us updated and as time goes on. Okay, let me take a pause here and see if we can pick up some more, and then we'll pick up CDJ and then Virgil. Anyone like to get on the Tuesday night pre-net roster, please come now at this time. This is WA4KM.
Forward to X-ray number 9, David X-ray.
Good evening, Kevin. W4
Delta Bravo Sierra.
Kilo for Juliet, Charlie Papa, Goose Coffee Party.
Kilo Delta 4, Uniform Mike, Uniform.
Okay, I had a few there. I got WX9DX, good to have you, sir. And of course, Dan, W4KR. And then someone that I'd heard, Joe coming there, JCP, and there was a station with Bravo, I believe it was Sugar or Charlie. Could you come back with your call, please? Well, let me go on down here. He may not sure. Now I got, of course, KD4UM. Good to hear you again. The station with the prefix ending in Bravo, I think it was Sugar or Charlie. Could you come back again, please?
Kilo 4, Delta Bravo Sierra, K4DBS. Doug, TSL?
TSL. KG5CW. Hey, Doug. Yeah, that's right. Okay, Joe, come in there with you. I got you, K4DBS. Thank you, sir, for that. Okay, boy, we got a list. I'm going to have to turn the page. Appreciate everybody stopping by this evening. I'll tell you, AM is still alive. It's great, and it's wonderful. And, well, I'll do my little thing here on the website when I get done. Let me pick up some more of these people. Okay, W4CDJ. Dan, it's over to you for your comments. WA4KM.
WA4KM. And the W4AMI, SAMRC pre-net. W4CDJ returning. Well, it's sad news about Ben, but I'm sure he's probably pretty happy where he's at. I had the pleasure to meet Ben and Miss Susan several times over the years. I think the first time was when we were in Sweetwater, Tennessee, and then a few years later we migrated down to Waynesboro, Georgia. Kevin, you affectionately referred to that as a bird dog capital of the world. My wife still has a T-shirt that says that. Yeah, it's kind of odd. This T368 that I'm talking on, I think passed through Ben's hands, and then Don, N4UB, had it. Then I went down to Don's here in Blakely, Georgia, and picked it up, got it home, and it was blowing fuses and stuff, and found the problem, got it fixed. Called Ben and said, Ben, Don pretty much gave me this thing, and I'd like to reimburse him, and I think he got it from you. Kind of like to know what he had in it. Ben wouldn't tell me. So, that's the way that worked. And I still got the rig. And I almost sold it. And I'm glad I didn't. Because what had happened at W4CT had probably transmitted on, probably worked on. And just a week or two ago, another friend of mine, K9, oh man, anyway, Borgie, he was looking for him out here, and I found a box out in in the storage shed. Looked like the right size. Took some stuff out of it, put some stuff in it, closed the lid on it, and the return address on that box was Ben Booth, Wilmington, Alabama. So it's a small world, you know. I'm from Indiana. I have the opportunity to work pretty much all over the eastern United States. Just met so many good people. I'm blessed having all these good friends. And just one comment about Richard down there in West Florida. He's not too far from the redneck Riviera there, Kevin. Back down, W4KM, W4DJ.
That's right. Goes to the Redneck Riviera. All right, Dan, appreciate that letting us know about Ben. Of course, we had a lot of time. We could just see what all he's done for people and say something about him, but that'd be for another time maybe. I'll tell you, he was just a dear sweet man. I just don't know any way to put it. Soft-spoken, just, you know, he's a role model. Anyway, let me move on down here and pick up Mr. Speaking of Sweetwater, Tennessee, you said that. It's down to Virgil, good friend up there. Virgil, it's over to you, sir. W4OLJ, Sweetwater, Tennessee, WA4KM in the pre-net.
WA4KM. This W4OLJ. Well, okay, Calvin. Kind of good up here. A lot of good signals on there tonight. Yeah, we're going to miss Ben a lot. He was a good one. He gave me several tips down through the years and helped me out with different things on radio. And I've seen him around at a lot of Hamfest. Used to look for him over at Shelby because I pretty well knew he was going to be there, and it was always good to see him. I look forward to seeing him over there. That was about my favorite, one of my favorite Hamfests, and I think it was also Ben's because he always really seemed to enjoy it. So that's about all we got here right now, and I think it's almost net time, so I'll kick it back to you, Kevin. You're doing a great job. WA4KM, W4OLJ.
Okay, well, I appreciate it, Virgil, and you're a kind gentleman yourself. I tell you what, there's a lot on here, too. Well, let's see, we got time to pick up one more. Let's pick up Manuel down there, KW4 TV. Manuel? You got anything for the pre-net? This is WA4KM.
WA4KM, not a whole lot going on, Kevin. Just let it rain, and maybe it'll move on through here and get on out of the way. And we always hate to hear somebody passing away, but hopefully things get back to normal before long, and everything's good. So, Kevin, I won't hold it up. Just turn it back to you, and thank you for picking me up. This is KW4 TV.
Okay, Manuel, I appreciate it. And we had got down to Kevin GZQ, but we got a lot on the list. People were talking in memory of Mr. Ben. Sorry we didn't get through it, but well, no, I'm really not sorry because I want to hear about the adventures of Mr. Ben, and well, he's going to be missed by everyone. Let's see. I was going to do something else. I can't remember. Let's see. Anyway, all right, guys. We've reached the end of the pre-net. Sam's fixing to take over the actual net, and I think he's going to do another all-carrier salute, guys. You know, Andy always told me when you do an all-carrier salute that the radio waves go up into the heaven. It's angel music, and they keep going on, and it's just a great thing to do for a very fine gentleman, and I'll let Sam do that as he picks it up. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on the pre-net here. And also, real quick, if you want to see what the net's all about, go to W4AMI, that's Whiskey 4, Alpha Mike India, .org, and if you want to see some fine radio equipment and pictures on there from times past, beautiful stuff, and there's several pictures on there, stuff for sale. There's a members list on there of all the members on there. If you'd like to get a membership, it don't cost anything. If you get a hold of Ron or Eddie Brown or one of those guys, they'll get your membership number at no cost, and they'll even mail you a certificate out if you just pay the postage, and it's, I don't know, $4 or $5, but that's all it is. And there's several videos and what the core of this net's about, founded, and it's a great net, and Dr. Ron, appreciate all that you do, keeping it up and going, because I tried doing one years ago, and let me tell you guys, it's not easy. It's a lot of work. Okay, with that, Sam, you can take it over for the SAMRC Swamp Fellowship Net. Thank you. I'll be there. I've got a list here, and it's a long one. With no further ado, KF4TXQ, this is WA4KM and Villa Rica, the city of gold.
Okay, Kevin, WA4KM, Villa Rica, fine prenet. Thank you a whole lot. And we're going to rock right along, and as Kevin said, we're going to do another 30-second all-carrier salute to Ben Booth, W4 Charlie Tango, Mentone, Alabama. A fine man and a fine ham radio operator and fine flight instructor and just a fine person. And he's sorely going to be missed. So let's start the 30 seconds now. Well, Brother Ben, you're in the arms of the Almighty. This is KF4TXQ, W4AMI. All right, let's run down the roster here of our officers. President, Bob, K4BKC up in Columbia, Tennessee. Bob, your comments, please. This is W4AMI.
W4AMI, this is K4BKC. Well, thank you, Sam. Good evening to you, and good evening to everyone that's stopped by here to check in with us. Thank you for taking your time to be with us on the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship net. We certainly lost a valued member to our family here on the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship net, Ben Booth, W4CT. And I know there's been many tributes already, but he was a close friend of mine, and he will be sorely missed, I tell you. One other thing of note that I wanted to mention tonight, the AM Heavy Metal Rally is coming up on January the 6th, 2024. And the Heavy Metal Rally is just it's not a contest, it's just a night for good AMQ songs. And a lot of participation is encouraged. But thank you for doing the pre-net, Kevin, and thank you for doing the net, Sam. Back to W4AMI. This is K4BKC.
Okay, Brother Bob, thank you for all you do for the SAMRC and ham radio in general. And All right, next on the list here, we've got Dr. Ron, WB4GWA in Concord, Georgia. He is the club call sign trustee and a fine ham and a fine minister. So over to you there, Dr. Ron. This is W4AMI.
Yes.
Okay, Sam, W4AMI from WB4GWA. Well, good evening, everybody. Good to hear all these fine stations on tonight, and certainly a good propagation here in the last few weeks. I will mention the website one more time because we have a few more additions to it. I loaded up some more pictures today of a restoration that's going on that you want to take a look at. And also, I looked at the statistics report today. We had 330 new visitors to it last month. So it is getting used, and I think it's giving us plenty of visibility across the country for our club, which is really good. So be sure and check it out. And if you have anything that you want to sell or any restoration or pictures of your ham shack or whatever, just send it to me and I'll be glad to post it. W4AMI from WB4GWA in Concord.
Mighty fine, Dr. Ron. Thanks for all you do for the SAMRC and for ham radio in general. And you're doing a fine job with that website, no doubt about it. And maybe that'll give some of these folks that don't know about AM and about our close-knit community, it'll give them an insight into what's going on and what they could be a part of if they decided they wanted to do it. All right, this is KF4TXQ operating as W4AMI. And next we're going to go to Eddie Brown, KA4AMI in Williamson, Georgia. He's the treasurer for the SAMRC, and he does a fine job. Eddie Brown, over to you, sir.
Okay, W4AMI, this is KA4AMI. Well, thank you, Sam. You only know half the story. Anyway, good evening, everybody. It's good to be here. And the weather is improving in Williamson. The front that squall line just passed through. Looks like we're on the back side of it, so no thunder and lightning or anything. We got a lot of rain, but other than that, it was fine. No problems over here. And one remark about Ben, I won't hold it up too much, but when you met Ben, you knew right away what kind of fellow he was. It didn't take long. Just a few sentences and in 5 minutes talking to him, you knew who he was. And I'll leave it at that. And he's just a great man, like everybody's saying. You can't say enough good things about him. But anyway, Stan, that's just Ron kept me to look at the website. Your 20V3 looking really, really good there, man. That's a work of art, But nice job. Let's see. Nothing much going on around here other than the old washing machine. Yesterday it decided to roll over on its back, stick its feet up there, and it squirted water out of the bottom. So we kind of had to go buy a new washing machine today. And then let's see, a rock went into my wife's windshield, and we had to have the windshield replaced today. So we had a big day. But that's all over with, and we're doing fine, and life is good here in Williamson. So with that, I'll say 73s to everybody. And I hope you have an awfully good Thanksgiving. We all have a lot to be thankful for here. Anyway, Bravo Realm Ranger tonight with the SP220. Working on a R274 or SX73. Doesn't say that anywhere on here, but that's what it is. And in-fed half-wave antenna. And that's it from here. Sam doing a great job, and thank you, Kevin. W4AMI and this wonderful group of people. This is KA4AMI, 7-3 for now.
hear a carrier on there. It's gone now. This is W4 AMI, the SAMRC net control, and we're going to keep going down the roster here and picking up the folks who checked in. Next on my list is Dan, W4CDJ, and he is in Lawrenceburg, Indiana on the Ohio River. How old are you there, Dan?
Well, thank you, Sam. W4 AMI in the Net. No conditions here this evening. Hearing everybody. No problems whatsoever. Kind of said my piece already about Ben, so he was a good man and had the opportunity to meet him in prison several times. And I won't belabor that. But I don't know if you guys heard or not, but we are on a P368 here that I think Ben had, and then Don N4UB got it, and then I wound up with it. So this thing's probably got more miles on it than a lot of cars. It must have got from somewhere to Mentone, or from Mentone to Blakely, or from Blakely to Waynesboro, or from Waynesboro to here in Lawrenceburg. It still looks good, and it's all in one piece, and it's making some RF, so we're pretty happy with all that. And I ain't got a whole lot else here. And once again, Sam, thank you very much for picking me up. W4 AMI in the Net. Whiskey 4 Charlie, Delta Juliet, over.
Okay, Dan, mighty fine. Well, you're sounding great on that T368. I sure am glad you decided to keep it because it has a great lineage. And those rigs are made to be shot at. Maybe that's one reason they last. But anyway, yours sounds great. As I say, it has a great heritage, so you're guarding it well. All right, going down the list. Next we've got Perry, K4CWW in Fayetteville, Georgia. It is your turn, sir. W4 AMI.
And what's that deal on the train?
Okay, thank you. W4 AMI, K4CWW. I'm running this thing a little more higher than I want to. I'm gonna let this amplifier load. Okay. So for those of you who came late, I got this wrist station in Iraq. Thanks to Ron, we had to work on the HD33 amplifier twice, and without Ron kicking in some muscle, I don't think I could have got that thing out of the rack and opened up and flipped upside down and all.
Good deal on
Thank you, Ron. Thank you.
That's
a big receiver.
I
Fed antenna right now.
Yesterday,
So I'm pleased to get the 33B.
I'm not
going to drive it too hard, about 150 miles. I've found out going from 50 to 150 makes it Everybody's sounding good, and yeah, it's going to take some more to get used to the Ben news. I didn't expect that. I thought he was faring better with what they were doing to him at Kirkland Clinic, but we've been through that. Our son Will was pronounced cancer-free 3 times. Terrible fight. Okay, we'll carry on, and thank you, Sam. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Dadeville again. I don't know, are we going to do that at the spring, fall, or sooner? W4 AMI, K4CWW, take it away.
All right, mighty fine, Perry. Well, I tell you what, we're still scratching our heads and studying the weather and everything and the schedules and so forth. Just see, we'd like to have it sometime before Christmas. So we'll sort of see how it works out. But anyway, thanks a lot for being there, and glad things are working out for you. I hope everything works fine in Fayetteville. Okay, here we go to Richard, W4WFL in Pensacola. Richard, it's your turn, sir. This is W4 AMI.
All right, thank you very much, Sam. I just don't have much to offer to the net other than condolences, Ben. I wish I had the opportunity to have met him, so I really don't have much to add, but Apostle Paul said that die was the gain, so whatever happens to us after this lifetime is gain, and I'm going to take his word for that, and that's where my faith lies. So anyway, that's all I've got here, and this is W4WFL, the furthest western AM station in the state of Florida.
Okay, mighty fine, Richard. Good to hear you, and you're sounding good. And well, I tell you what, if you thumb through the pages of the old Presbyterian hymnal, it was the Genevan Psalter, old 100 in that hymnal was the one that they made the doxology out of. And when I see the words of that doxology, it makes me think of this. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise him, all creatures here below. Praise him above the heavenly host. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And Brother Ben lived by those words, and many others of consequence. So it's mighty fine. If you didn't know Ben, you really missed something. I'll tell you right now. But we were blessed to have somebody like that amongst us, and I appreciate you remembering him well. Okay. Next, we got Virgil, W4OLJ in Sweetwater, Tennessee. Virgil, it is your turn. This is W4AMI.
W4AMI in the net. This is W4OLJ. Okay, Sam. Yeah, I agree with everything that's been said about Ben here tonight. He was a great one, and we're going to miss him. So that's about all I've got here. It's been raining all day here in Sweetwater, or most of the day, but we really need it. We're glad to get it. Lots of good signals on there tonight, and lots of interesting conversation. So back to you, Sam. You're doing a great job, and Kevin, he done a good job on the pre-net also there. 73s to everybody. W4AMI, W4OLJ.
All right, you're sounding great as always from Sweetwater, Virgil, and proud to have you with us. Okie doke. Let's see. Next we got Kevin up in Nonsuch, Kentucky. I love that name, Nonsuch. KK4GZQ. It is your turn, sir. W4AMI.
Okay, Sam, W4AMI with the net, KK4GZQ, and good evening to the entire net. I've been listening to the pre-net and the net here, and I'm so sorry to hear about Ben's passing, and my condolences to his wife, Sandra, and for all you friends and family and the AM community. And I remember Ben as being very polite, very well spoken, and always had a real calming voice. And obviously, by listening to several of you there, Sam, you talked about him being an ordained minister in the children's home. It sounds like he made a huge impression and a positive impression on a lot of lives. So my sincere condolences for everyone. And happy Thanksgiving to all of you. And I'll turn it back to Net Control. I'm headed up to see Dan in the morning, W4CDJ, so I'm going to be in bed early here tonight. So I wanted to pass my concerns and condolences to everyone, and also wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. And great job by Kevin, W84KM with pre-net, and to you, Sam, W4AMI. And listening to everybody on R392 here tonight and the BC610 transmitter, the old mousetrap. Back to you, Sam. Good job. W4AMI, KK4GZQ. 73, everybody.
Thank you, Kevin.
Kevin, mighty good. And the old mousetrap is still sounding great. It's in good hands. I'm proud to know it. And I know I've told y'all this story before, but I was talking to K4 VMY up in Litchfield, Kentucky, on that 610 right after I first got it. And if you're not familiar with a 610, there's a breaker on the front panel that anytime you get a load that's beyond what it's designed for on the B plus system, that thing will pop, And so I was talking to Mr. Bill Decker, and I heard it pop, and I said, uh-oh, and about that time that breaker popped, and anyway, when I finally got going again, I got on another rig, and Mr. Bill said, well, uh-oh is not a good word in AM radio, and a mouse had crawled into that thing, and I had it sitting out on the side porch. I just unloaded it from my van, and that thing has really made the rounds, no doubt about it. But it was a lot of fun, and it's still going strong, Kevin. You're doing well with it. All right, let's go to Tom, W9TAB in Pensacola. It's your turn, sir. W4AMI.
W4AMI, W9TAB. Good evening, everybody. Feeling today. Brother Ben, I'm sorry he'll be missed. I never knew Ben personally, but I did talk to him off and on via email. I'll tell you the story. Back in January, well, first of all, Ben owned the Collins 32B2 transmitter, serial number 1783. January 2008, Ben was out of his ham shack. He smelled something burning. He went back in the ham shack, and I'll be doggone if the low voltage rectifier tube didn't go out and take out his transformer, his 32B2. Ben had to find a transformer to replace it. There was some of that term had run down in it and everything else. Back in 2008, they didn't really have the replacement transformers for the 32B2, so he got the closest jamming one he could, and the performance current was a little bit low, so what he did was he went ahead and got an auxiliary filament transformer to help support it. He nestled it in the power compartment behind the radio, and he split the filaments out for the 8-flip modulators, and he ran nose off the auxiliary transformer, and then in the main transformer, he run the rest of the filament tubes. Well, Brother Ben documented all this in the January 2008 Electric Radio Magazine on page 28. Ben said back about 2010, he took this transmitter to the Shelby Hamfest and sold it. Well, fast forward to 2023. I came in possession of the 72V2 transmitter, serial number 1783. I'm talking right now on Ben Booth's old 32V2 transmitter. And I've talked to him via email, and he said, by golly, he said, that was it. He asked me off and on how the old transmitter was doing. And I told him, I said, Ben, it's just doing its wonderful after you worked on it. Now, since then, I've made a few modifications. Peter Dahl did come out with a good replacement transformer for it, and I went ahead and put it in there. Tore it down, rebuilt it, got it all back, put the light bulbs in, changed the dial, made it a fitting transmitter in memory of Brother Ben. Well, I appreciate it, brother. I would have missed him. Like I say, I never met him in person, but I did talk to him from time to time in email. You guys have a blessed evening, and Ben, this is for you, buddy. You will be missed. W4AMI is every night back in the net, man.
Fine business, Tom. I tell you what, you learn from stories like this, and the 32Vs and the R388s and a lot of those use those 5 Victor 4 or 5 Zulu 4 rectifier tubes, and they were indirectly heated cathodes, which meant that they had to have the actual indirect cathode close to the close to the plates in that rectifier, or else there was too much voltage drop. And so that made the thing precarious, because if it ever flashed over, it would weld the filament to the cathode in there and would take out the whole B+ secondary on those transformers. And it looked good on paper, but didn't work too good in practice. And I worked on bunches of radios and transmitters that had that problem. And you know, you live and learn. What is necessarily technological advance sometimes is technological boo-ha. But anyway, there you go. Thanks a lot, Tom. Okay, let's go to Whiskey 4Q. WW4Q. It is your turn, sir. W4AMI. Well, I hadn't heard him in a while, so I guess maybe he's not there. So let's go to Dr. John in Killen, Alabama. KN4 Mike Echo. It is your turn, sir. W4AMI.
Thank you very much, Sam, and good job, especially tonight. A very special night. You and I'm going to have to say right up front, not ashamed that I shed a tear with you and Dr. Ron talking about Ben. I share all of the wonderful comments that have been made about him. One of my regrets is that I had a cabin on Lookout Mountain in Mentone, Alabama, probably within half a mile of Ben's QTH there, and we overlapped somewhat. Now, this goes back, I sold that over 30 years ago, but we did overlap somewhat, I think, and I regret not visiting him at his QTH and vice versa. That was a long time ago. And, gosh, there were some other comments I was going to make, but a lot has been said, and I just, this is a very, I will just say this. If everybody in the world were like Ben, what a wonderful world it would be, as Louis Armstrong so eloquently sang. Back to you, Sam, and I've got to run. We've got a early Thanksgiving with the family, with logistical, trying to get problems, trying to get everybody together. So I really need to be in there helping the XYO. But back to you, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone on. What a wonderful bunch of folks. W4AMI, KN4ME.
Okay, Dr. John, well, thank you for being there, and I hope when y'all's celebration rolls around, I hope you have an excellent... There he is. All right. Let's see. Whiskey 4 Charlie Hotel. W4CCH. It is your turn, sir. W4AMI. I only heard him in there one time on the pre-net, and I guess he's gone. So anyway... But I believe old Lenny still be there. K4HUM, Lenny. And please tell us the name of that town you're in Georgia. K4HUM, it is your turn. This is W4AMI.
Whoa, got to retune here. Anyway, I'm close. My address is Barnesville. Anyway, I'm kind of running back and forth to all these silly nets and stuff, and this one's not the silly one. This is the good one, and want to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving, and sure, I'm sure everybody will be saying some prayers for Ben. Doggone, like I said, I never met him, but you know what? In Huntsville and in Lawrenceville, I got to shake hands and hug several, and many of all y'all out there, and I'll tell you what, that made my year, that's for sure. So anyway, God bless everybody out there, and a happy Thanksgiving. By the way, the VFW is going to have a chili cook-off on Saturday. So, holy cow, I'm going to thaw out some of that last year's Bambi, and we may win this chili cook-off. I'll have to let y'all know next week. Anyway, back to you, Sam. great net. Thanks that Kevin for the pre-net. It's always good to hear all y'all out there. Give the chat on the pre-net too. K4H1. Back to you, Sam.
Thank you, Lenny. In Barnesville, Georgia. I don't know why I can't remember Barnesville, but I always remember Milner because John Milner. And that's across the road from Milner, Georgia. But anyway, good to hear you, man. You're sounding great on that rig now. All right, let's go back down to Pensacola town. Roy, W4I diddle diddle. It is your turn, sir. W4AMI.
All right. Thank you, Sam. You didn't forgive me. I thought you done forgot me. I just sat here waiting for Kevin to come in there and straighten things out. 73, young man. Well, you sound good this evening. Did a great job with the net. This is W4I Diddle Diddle, Roy in Pensacola. And a little point for you, Sam. It said, put out the cat and tune up the fiddle. Let's make a little RL for I Diddle Diddle. Well, there you go. I'm running this Daisy May this evening, a B&W 5100 B model. The B stands for beautiful. An NC 300 receiver, a pair of 813s, and a B&W amplifier. A straight D104 microphone. A double bazooka antenna with an apex about 30 feet, something like that. So there you are. That's pretty well the story from here, Sam. And I want to say one more word about Ben. There's been a lot said tonight about him, but one of my most fond memories of Ben is while everybody else was trying to run a 250 to 400 watt carrier or 350 carrier on AM sound, Ben always tried to run, seemed like the smallest carrier he could be heard of. So if he was running 20, 25 watts, he was a happy camper. And he's sitting up there on Lookout Mountain about, who knows how high. But anyway, so much for that. But it's been a good night, Sam, and you've done a great job with the net. I'll turn it back to you with this short statement. I hope everybody out there in Radio Land feels as good as I look. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Back to you, Sam, from W4I Diddle Diddle, Pensacola. WB4JZG.
All right, I heard somebody coming in there. We'll pick you up at the bottom of the list here in about 4 calls. Okay, yeah. Roy, I tell you what, if we could all have that good luck to fall into that syndrome you're talking about would be wonderful. So, you know why it is. But you're sounding good. All right, let's go down to Walhalla. Stan, W4KR in Walhalla, South Carolina. It is your turn, sir, W4AMI.
Well, thank you, Sam, and good evening. W4AMI, W4KR. Good evening, everybody. I've been sitting here for the last 45 minutes about Sam just absorbing the comments and what goes on, and I'd like to address my thoughts twofold. One, having the privilege of being the net control here every other week is a mixed blessing, because the net control doesn't get the opportunity to partake too deeply into the conversations that go on, because there's a lot to do and a lot going on. And one thing is to keep things going, and the other is to simultaneously participate. So I start out here with an 8.5 by 11 page with all the calls on it, and by the time I get done, I've got 3 pages of comments and stuff that I want to somehow, some way during the evening speak to. And the comments that have been made tonight regarding Ben is certainly an indication and a message to our many listeners who are with us week after week but don't check in. Ron has mentioned the number of folks that visit the website, and the data he has available tells him who it is, and it's quite often a huge number of non-participants, non-members, and I guess we have demonstrated, you all have demonstrated tonight, what a family operation this really is. Yeah, it's a radio net, and yeah, we talk about technical stuff sometime, but there's a lot more that goes on, that is going on here. And I can certainly say that it's a privilege to be able to be part of that. Parallel to that, Ron mentioned early on a restoration project that I'm undertaking, and that's a Collins transmitter that was formerly owned by one of our esteemed members. I'm not gonna say any more about that specifically tonight, other than when I've got it on the air and it's ready to go, and I think it's about a month away, we'll talk at length that night about that and where it came from and what's happened to it. But I've undertaken that project as kind of a special thing, because it's a privilege to now have that big gray box sitting here in the house. One last comment, Sam, about our friend Ben. Yes, we are going to miss him. We fondly remember the conversations, and I've had my share of them, primarily on the phone, some on the air, but primarily on the phone. But we tonight can also take joy in knowing that Ben's time here has been completed, and Almighty God said, "Come on home." W4AMI, W4KR.
All right, mighty fine, Stan. Thanks for that. And I hope Miss Jones in there with you enjoying this net. Boy, it's been a great net. I've been privileged to be a part of it, and I'll tell you, it's a whole lot of fun. And what a fine organization the SAMRC is. It's more than a club, and it's more than a net. It is a Christian brotherhood. So anyway, all right, going down to, I think, maybe Fort Walton Beach for about the last time. Brother Joe, are you there? K4JCP, it is your turn, sir. This is W4AMI.
Well, thank you, Sam. It's sometimes questionable whether I'm here or not. W4AMI, K4JCP. Yeah, this is probably the last week down here. We hope to be up in Ringgold, Georgia by the 1st of the month. So we're packing and praying right now, and it's certainly a shock to hear about Ben. I did not know Ben closely. Talked to him a lot on the radio, many different occasions. In fact, as I somehow or another ended up doing trivia stuff, I used Ben a couple of times for the stuff he had in electric radio, so he was quite accomplished and quite prolific, and I'm sure he's happy where he's at. And diddle's always coming up with these little ditties. Well, I racked my brain, and there ain't much to rack there, but I got one. Let out the cat, take off your hat. Joe's Coffee Pot is where it's at. Back to you, Sam. W4 AMI, K4J.
Have mercy. I'll tell you what, how wonderful it is. And but anyway, you're sounding great, Mr. Joe, and I hope your move goes well. I can't wait to hear you from Ringgold. And maybe the ether will be better coming down from Ringgold than it did coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. You never know. All right, mighty fine. Okay, let's go down to the tallest mountain in Florida. Manuel, KW4TV. It is your turn, sir. This is W4 AMI.
W4AMI, KW4TV. Good evening. Thank you for doing the net, Sam. You're doing a great job, and Kevin did the pre-net, and I wanted to straighten Richard out about the tallest mountain in Florida. It's not the highest mountain in Florida, Richard. It's the tallest mountain in Florida, so you got to get the verbiage correct. So there you go. But we will miss Ben greatly. We're a little grieved. We would like to catch him, and we should be rejoicing, we said. And but anyway, we will miss him immensely. So, but on the other note, I have my little doorbell in here with me tonight. Jake, I hope you get turned off like some of Tom's woof woof dogs tonight. But we've got quite a bit of rain today. Had a leak in the ham shack, and I didn't get any radios wet, but I got the floor wet, so I got to try to fix that up tomorrow sometimes and keep my doorbell quiet. You know, that wireless doorbell that bangs the head. But anyway, Sam, with all of that, we won't hold it up any longer, my friend, and thank you for doing the net. You always do a great job, you and Kevin both. W4AMI. This is KW4TV from the tallest mountain in Florida.
Okay, man, you're mighty fine. Well, it's good to have you with us. And sounding good from down there in Tall Mountain, Georgia. Tall Mountain, Florida. Excuse me, got the wrong state. That's getting down there to the coast, and everything kind of blurs in there when you see the sand on the shore. But anyway, all right, Kevin, WA4KM, would you like to finish out the net and maybe see if there's any stragglers and add any comments if you want to and close it out? So find the call, W4AMI, and over to you, Kevin.
Okay, guys, I appreciate it. And I did copy I heard him several times, WB0JZG. We got you on the list, sir. Okay, yeah, I concur with everything you said, Sam. It's kind of you're supposed to rejoice when people pass away and cry when they're born, but we do it different. But that's what the Bible says. But anyway, Ben's going to be missed, and we can't help all but be sad. Okay, let me see. I've got a few still left on the list here, but before I pick up these, let me tell you what I got left. Chuck, if he's still around, IYQ, and I think that WW4Q, he didn't come back. And we had a W4CCH, WX9DX, K4DBS, and UMU. We had him. Is there anyone else that would like to get on the roster for this evening's SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Net? If so, please come now with your call. W4AMI.
Alpha Delta 4, Quebec.
In 4, OZI.
Okay, there was a couple in there in the beginning. I did hear Greg, WA4II, and then Dave, I heard AD4Q, and then Alan, N4OZI. Who was the other station? Oh, that's a great call. AM International, like our call here. Okay. Anyone else like to get on the roster this evening for the Tuesday night? This is the Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net. If you'd like to get on here and make a comment or just check in and say hi, please come now at this time. Okay. Well, we picked up a few, Sam. All right, let me see if Chuck's here. I'm going to go back to him. He may have RUNNOFT. N4IY. Well, that's a mouthful. N4IYQ. Chuck, are you there? This is W4AMI. Okay, he RUNNOFT then. How about the station Whiskey 4 Charlie Charlie Hotel? Are you there, sir? It's over to you.
X-ray, Germany.
Was that Whiskey 4 Charlie Charlie Hotel, or would you like to get on the list?
Yeah, Kilo Mike 4, X-ray Golf, just checking in and listening out.
Okay, Kilo Mike 4, X-ray Golf, I got you. Okay, I'm making notes there as I go. Let's see, who do I got next? How about WX9DX? Guys, we know it was a long night, but we remember a friend, and we're a little longer than usual, but, it's for a good cause for men. We all love dearly, so, and I'm sure some of them had got off, and we kind of apologize for that, but we do want to remember Mr. Ben. WX49DX, this is W4AMI. Are you there, sir?
W4AMI, WX9, David X-ray. Gentlemen, my name is Jim G. Wig, Indianapolis, and it's a first airborne trooper. And the first thing I'd like to say is I'm sorry to hear about your plans, and we wish you all a really wonderful. I'm sure it was a fine fellow to know what was said. So God bless you and God bless America, our country that we all live in. Gentlemen, thanks for having this whole veteran. 73s, and we'll talk to you gradually. WX9DX in Illinois.
Okay, well, you're loud out of Illinois, and I appreciate you hanging around. We had a long list, and again, we're remembering a brother and a dear friend, and thank you for waiting for your turn. I know it's been a long list. Okay, next on the list, let's see, how about K4DBS? I think that's Jim, I'm not sure. No, K4DBS, it's over to you for your comments. W4AMI.
Okay, very good. W4AMI. This is Kilo 4 Delta Bravo Sierra. My name is Officer United George, located in northeast Georgia, close to Harville, Georgia, although my address in QRZ is Cannon, Georgia. Just listening, I haven't checked in a while. I'm one of those that don't check in very often. I think I have an excuse, but probably not a good one. But anyway, we do spend a lot of time on mission trips in Central America, and we just got back to the Dominican Republic here a few weeks ago. So I get on when I can. I've been inspired by the comments of the dear one that has gone on to his reward, and makes me think of the scripture that says, let me die the death of the righteous and let my last end be like theirs. And I think our desire is that our testimony after we are gone is that it will be like what we're hearing tonight, inspiration to us all. Certainly an example for us to follow. I'm operating in Johnson Viking Valiant, an HQ-170, D-104 Mike. The HQ-170 is just going through a rather expensive tune-up job. One time getting it all figured out. So that's the situation here. Here in northeast Georgia, it was cloudy and drizzly and kind of pneumonia weather today, is what I call it. And inverted V antenna, I should say that, I guess. And okay. Well, I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope to check in again. We do plan to leave again pretty soon for Guatemala for a short time. Certainly we reach out to others for the Lord. I've been an ordained minister since 1980, so it's always encouraging to hear the testimony of those that have finished the race and fought a good fight. Encouraging for us all. Okay, Sam, back to you, W4AMI, Kilo 4 Delta Bravo Sierra. Thank you very much for letting me check in.
Okay. Appreciate it, Doug. Thank you for doing all that stuff with the mission trips, too. It takes a special person and to reach all four corners of the world and spread God's word, for sure. And that Ben is going to be well remembered. And he was also, I'm sure you heard, he was a master as well. Okay, and thanks for hanging around and checking in. And HQ-170 was the first receiver I ever owned at the Viking, too, and I still have them both. Anyway, okay, let's see. How about there? We're coming to you now. I got you. WB0JZG. Thank you for being patient, sir. It's over to you for your comments. This is W4AMI and the Southeastern AM Radio Club Net.
All righty. Well, good evening, everybody. I am very, very much saddened by the passing of W4CP Ben. I felt like I knew him pretty well. He was a very, very kind, mild person. He could calm down anybody, and we're going to sorely miss him. I always enjoyed talking with him on the Sunday morning breakfast club, and asking him anytime I could to understand issues when his rig didn't work. He will be missed, and another comment is we are losing too many people in our wonderful community of AM operators, and most of us have been hams for a while. I'm thinking I've been doing this for 40 years. I can't hardly keep track of time anymore, but it's been a long time. And I tell you what, I'm going to kick around as long as I can. You know, I think most of you guys know me, that I'm an athlete, and I work hard, and I train hard, and I race hard, and I'm trying to take care of my body. You know, it was told to me by one of my pastors that your body is the temple of God. Treat it as such and take care of it. And what all of us need to do. And anyway, I will definitely be saddened to hear the loss of Ben and others also. All my good friends are slowly disappearing, and that's sad. Anyway, back to me when it comes. Thank you very much for letting me in. I just got back in town. I was down in Fort Pierce at my part-time job, and Dr. Jonathan Forami let me know about his passing, and it very much saddened my heart. Back to the net it comes, WB0JZG Kevin in Lakeland, Florida.
Okay, Kevin. Well, that's my name. You got a good name. Thanks for stopping by and passing on your comments as well to concur. You know, Mr. Ben was just we just can't say enough about it. And thank you for being patient. I did get you on here and heard you earlier, but we had a long list, and appreciate you and everyone else standing by. I've got several texts and emails, and to concur with Dr. Ron, like 300 plus check-ins in the last month. I'm getting emails and text and stuff all over the place, and I tell them about that. And if they get 300 something hits on AM, people think AM's dying. It's not, guys. It's wide open, and it's just good people here, and it's just a great organization. And well, I got it, Keith. I'll just go ahead and say that for the ones that are listening that don't know what I'm talking about. If you'll get your pen and paper ready. And check out the website. Dr. Ron said he posted a lot more pictures and stuff on there. The website is W4AMI, which is Whiskey 4 Alpha Mike India.org. And check it out. You will see some stuff, especially some of the older guys that's been around, some beautiful restorations and other stuff that takes you back in time. And he's doing a great job with this as well. Okay, let me move on. I want to get that out. And here's a guy I talked to in a while. He used to be a regular all the time. KD4UMU. It's over to you for your comments. This is W4AMI.
Well, all right. Good evening to you, and good evening to the rest of the group. Yeah, sorry to hear about Ben's passing there, but that just kind of made me reflect back on a lot of the guys that we had talked to throughout the years here, and I brought up my old list of hands that we had talked to here on AM, and it just kind of brings back a smile just to reflect back and think of those guys that you got to talk to and learn from, and it helps you along the way. And I certainly got a lot of help from a lot of folks along the way. And got a little bit of a list here, and just kind of wanted to run through it real quick. And I'm sure everybody knows all of these calls and have heard them plenty of times. N4OKL Charlie, down there rebuilding. The guy that I first heard the term larraping from, and I use that all the time. So had a lot of good conversations with him. Mr. Bill from Illinois down there with his Platinum ceramic rig, Mr. Bill, NK4D. He was always enjoyed listening to the stories he had to tell. And of course, Miss Liz on that mousetrap. Boy, I tell you, she just loved to get a hold of any piece of equipment, go through it to make it better. And just always enjoyed talking to her. And Mr. Jeff, W0XD from down in Brookhaven, very, very knowledgeable, and got a lot of help from him on a lot of subjects and stuff. And the last one I had on the list here was Mr. Warren at W1GUD on his BC610 down there in Florida. But anyway, that's all we got. Normally we usually back on to sleep this time of the night. I get up early in the morning, still working on this end. So glad we can get in there every now and then. Been deer hunting, so that's why I'm still up, moving around and going right now. So, but it was raining today and we didn't get to go. Well, anyway, let me send it back around to net control, and we sure appreciate all the signals that we hear on AM. Just like I said, it brings a smile to the face here. So. Back to net control at W4AMI from KD4UMU at Fort Knox, Kentucky.
What a great signal, too, by the way, and beautiful audio. Thank you for stopping by, and I missed talking with you from way back. I know you've been around for a while, and you just got to do what you got to do. All right, guys, this is the Tuesday night SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Net. My name's Kevin, and next on the list, we've got Mr. Greg, WA4III. Greg, how you doing down there? I got your message, but I've got gout in my toe and had to get a shot in it, and I've been in some awful pain, and I've not forgot you, sir, but it's over to you for your comments.
W4AMI, this is WA4III. Well, sorry about your pain. I know what it's like to have to get shots in that foot and in the hand. It don't feel good. We got a lot of good nature rain last night, and today has turned out to be a pretty nice day. Mostly overcast, but it was nice. I don't know of anything that I can add about Mr. Ben. I didn't know him, and maybe have spoke with him, but I can't say for sure. But anyway, sympathy to those that did know him and to his family. So I don't have anything else to contribute, so keep it as short as I can. So thanks for picking me up. W4AMI in the net. This is WA4II.
Okay, Greg. Well, thank you for being there. You don't have to add anything. We're just glad you're here, and all is welcome. On the tubes or solid state, we don't turn anybody away, and it's always good to hear you. Okay, next on the list, we got AD4Q. It's over to you, sir, for your comments. This is W4AMI.
W4AMI. This is Alpha Delta 4 Quebec. Dave in Millington, Tennessee. And don't have a whole lot to add. We're on the biking to ADC again tonight, and even in the R390A. I did look at some of the pictures on the website, Kevin, and I only got to meet Mr. Ben one time, and I think it was at the Huntsville Hamfest of 2022. And the picture that's up there, if I'm not mistaken, that's Ben and Susan on one end of the line, almost to the end, and I'm the fat guy on the other end. And Bob and Sam are in the middle. So, but I did get to meet Ben, I think, that one time that day, and very, very enjoyable. And I know he'll be sorely missed. But, a lot of good comments. Don't have much more. We got about 2 inches of rain almost yesterday, and none today. But I think we got enough for a while, because it was getting pretty dry. I'm sure you guys down south of us were getting pretty dry too. 73's to everybody, and sound like a real good net tonight, Kevin. And no, Sam did a good job too. W4AMI, AD, 4Q, 73.
73s, Dave, and always good to hear you. The Viking 2 is doing a fabulous job, and of course 390A is a great receiver. And I don't know if Ron slipped off or not. Ron, was that Ben and Susan on the other end? I've not looked at the picture today where he can confirm that. Over.
Roger, Dodger.
There you go, Dave. That was him, so you were correct. All right, thank you, Ron. Okay, next on the list is my... well, he's Stan's co-partner, not mine, but he's a pre-netter like I am. It's Alan up there on beautiful Lake Cheerful. So, N4OZI, over to you for your comments. This is W4AMI.
Okay, Kevin. W4AMI in the net. This is N4OZI. The band's doing pretty good this evening. Good condition. Got a good copy on everybody. Everybody's coming in good. And it's sad to hear the passing of Tim. I met him one and only time as in that picture in 2022 at Huntsville, and a very nice guy. And wished I'd got to know him a little bit better. And sorry to hear of his passing, but we know how it works out. To be absent from the body, to be present with the Lord. That's always the good thing involved. And not much else going on here, just getting ready for Thanksgiving. Got some clear days coming, so I got some more work to do out on this deck and get that done. Really can't do anything on these radios until I get this deck done, because by the time Christmas gets here, the temperature will really drop, and working on that deck just becomes really difficult. So I'm going to take advantage of the slightly warmer temperature than it is in late December. I'm going to get this deck redone, and that'll be good, and be able to get that accomplished and finished, and can then this winter concentrate on some of these radios looking for attention here in the ham shack. Not much else to really report. I'll keep it going. Appreciate you calling that. It's good to hear you, good to hear Sam, good to hear everybody in there. And we'll turn it back to you, Kevin. W4AMI. This is N4OZI.
All right, it's good to be heard too, Alan, and beautiful audio, by the way, and great signal this evening. Band is in great shape. Okay, next on the list, I almost said Eddie Brown, the same call, but he's a 9 call. N9AMI. It's over to you, sir, for your comments. This is W4AMI.
Okay, W4AMI, N9AMI from Kennesaw, Georgia. Operating the remote, sitting out here in Nevada. Technology is fun, but sorry for the 25 watts here, guys. Anyways, condolences about Ben, W4CT. I don't think I ever had a chance to meet him this last year. But condolences, and sound like he was really loved by the group here. So that's always a tough thing. Other than that, I wanted to mention one thing. Bob mentioned the heavy metal. I need to mention that this Friday I brought back the Amplitude Modulation International AM Jamboree. Starts Friday through the whole weekend, AM Rally, AMI style. And check it out on aminternational.club, the website, or just look up my call N9 AMI. It'll link you over there and give you all the info. Get on and roll out the heavy metal and have some fun. So that's it's been listed on EHAM and QRZ, and I missed the window to put it in electric radio, gosh darn it, but that was my fault. Anyways, that's it, and hope to get in here again if the remote's working okay. W4AMI and 9 AMI.
Okay, thank you for checking in. We appreciate all the stuff you've done and what you're doing, and I myself thank you for that, and I'm sure the others out here will as well for AM International. It's just it's a wonderful thing. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Okay, next on the list, and then this is the last one on the list. We'll take a check in. If nobody's there, we'll close it out. I've got Kilo Mike 4 X-Ray Golf. It's over to you, sir, for your comments. This is W4AMI.
Yeah, W4AMI in the group Kilo Mike 4 X-Ray Golf. Name here is Joe, Japan, Italy, Mexico. And I'm located in Herndon, Virginia, 20 west of Washington, D.C. And I've just been copying the mail with interest. I don't normally have many contacts to the south and the west. For some reason, propagation seems to always favor to the northeast. And so most of the folks I talk with are up in the northeast corridor, north of Washington, but it's nice to be able to hear so many fellows from down in the heartland. I'm originally from Pearland, Texas, and have been here in Virginia behind enemy lines for a long, long time. So, a pleasure to listen to you gentlemen this evening. I'm running 100 watts into a G5 RV. And so, without further ado, back to you, Kevin. It's been interesting listening this evening. W4AMI, Mike 4 X-Ray Golf.
Well, okay, Jim. Well, you're sounding good out of Virginia, especially for 100 watts. Got some great audio going on there, too. Some fidelity. So, isn't sure what you're on, but it sounds really good. And for 100 watts, it's done a great job. And I appreciate you stopping by. I'm glad you can hear us. Stop by anytime. And that goes for anybody out there listening. Even the shortwave listeners, I hate to go back to that, but I get emails and stuff all the time, and some texts and emails about the net here and how people can be heard. And we'd like to get a ticket, but if not, we appreciate y'all stopping by and checking out the site. Maybe one day you can get out and get a license for some of the shortwave listeners out there. But we appreciate your support and interest in the AM world as well. Okay, I've reached the bottom of this list, and it was a long one. Before I close it out, as Sam says, this will be the Alpha and Omega call. I'm going to follow pursuit with Sam. If you'd like to get on the tail end of the Tuesday night Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net, please come at this time. This is W4AMI.
KN4H8. This is K9UR, K9 United Radio.
Okay, hey Bob, good to hear you. KN4HH. That's Bob, and then I've got K9UR. Okay, anyone else? Oh, well, I seen you on the stuff. We're on AM. You're on the lower sideband. Push the AM button, and I'll see if I can pick you up. Try it one more time. We're on AM, sir. This is W4AMI.
W4AMI, WX9DX3
Okay, yeah, I called on you, but let me pick these other guys. Well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and make one, and I'll pick up Bob and then K9VR. Go ahead, WX9DX.
Roger, Roger. I just wanted to ask a quick question. That KN4XG in Virginia, did I understand he's only running 100 watts over?
That's exactly what he said.
Okay, well, if I was here in Illinois. All right, well, thank you much. WX9DX.
That's not a problem, not a problem. Okay, I did have you on here. I'm going to scratch that back out. And my page is full. Bob, good to hear you this evening, sir. KN4HH. This is W4AMI. I'm sure you've been listening about the passing of Ben W4CT, but it's over to you for your comments, sir. Good to hear you.
Yes, sir. W4AMI, KN4HH, yes. So sorry to hear about that. I need to look in on Susan and see how things are going. I'll wait a little bit. Yeah. Ben was a good friend. I knew Ben very well. We were both pilots and both had a lot of good visits together. Susan and I shared meals a lot of times together at different ham fests and gatherings. So he will certainly be missed. Well, I'm sorry. I'm glad I got in here in time. I'm over here multitasking, Kevin. I'm working on my little Johnson Viking mobile transmitter. A little AM mobile transmitter, so next week I'll have a real vintage radio on instead of the Icebox here, the old Flex 6500 and the SP Expert amplifier. So maybe next week I'll make some real AM for you. At any rate, thank you so much for picking me up, Kevin. Great net tonight, and thanks for what you do. W4AMI, KN4HH.
It's so good to hear you, Bob. We don't care if you're on the Flex or what. It's just good to hear you, sir. Always a pleasure. All righty. All right, here's the tail gunner, as Sam would say. Kilo 9 Uniform Radio, K9UR. It's over to you, sir, for your comments. This is Kevin with the Tuesday night Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship.
Okay, very good. Good evening to you and to you, Kevin, and all the net participants and the shortwave listeners. My name is Joe. Juliet Oscar Echo, K9 United Radio. I'm located in Bloomington, Indiana, about 45 minutes south of Indianapolis, home of Indiana University. Today I'm running a 32V2 transmitter, about 104 watts of carrier power, going into a coaxial fed 75-meter inverted V dipole with the apex at about 60 feet up in a tree. I'm listening to you on a Collins 75A4 receiver with a 270 speaker, and the audio here is a unamplified, a static D104 from 1950s, and that's the rundown. So we've had some rain the last couple days, about mid-40 degrees, so it's not too bad out there. Most of the leaves have come off the trees, which means it's antenna weather, and so I'm hoping maybe this weekend I'll be able to get a little bit of antenna work done. Just do some brushing up, nothing real big. I thought maybe I might put up a loop antenna for a top band and see what that does. If not that, then the inverted L will go back up for the 160 meter band. Anyway, that's the rundown here. I don't have a whole lot for the net. I'm sorry to hear of the passing of another ham. That seems to happen far too often these days with our hobby, so I guess that's just par for the course. But we wish condolences to his family and everyone that knew him as well. So with that, that's what I've got tonight. Always enjoy listening into the net. I don't check in all that often. I do a lot of listening here. But I wanted to comment that tonight everyone is very nice and loud, and there's almost no noise floor, noise level, and almost no static crashes. So it really makes for an enjoyable net listening here on the Collins receiver. All right, that's what I've got, and wish you a good evening, and thanks for picking me up. I guess I'm the tail gunner. So back to you, W4AMI, Kevin. This is K9UR, Joe, Bloomington, Indiana. Over.
Okay, Joe. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Jump in anytime. We'd love to hear from you. Again, like I said, you got a good, respectable signal. Beautiful audio on the 32V2. I had one of those. Alan has it now, or no, he's got my 32V3. But anyway, in the 75A4, what a great receiver, and good to hear you. Okay, well, I've reached the bottom of the list. It's been a long list. It's been a long evening, but we've sent all of our condolences, Mr. Ben. May you rest in peace, and may your family get comfort from this, and maybe God's blessings upon all the family from me, and I'm sure from everyone else. And with that, let's see. Please join the other nets that we have on Thursday nights. We got the Gulf Coast Mullet Society. It's on 3885 kilohertz, and it's at the same time as this net is, 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern, and then on Sunday evenings, or Sunday mornings, I'm sorry, at 6 a.m., they got the Warren Ellie Memorial Net. It's at 6 a.m. Eastern. I said that, but if you get up that early, we can check in with those guys there. And then Monday night, we'll have the Eagle Net, same time, frequency as well, 3885, and the AM mode at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. With that again, guys, and everyone out there listening, can't emphasize enough, please check out the website, w4ami.org. And if you guys didn't know Mr. Ben, I didn't look, but I will here shortly when I get off. There's a picture of him that Ron and the guys put up. And I'm sure if you send Ron some pictures of Ben and some of your equipment, he'd be more than happy to put it up. I'm putting some pressure on Ron, but he does do a fabulous job. Okay, guys, that's it from Villa Rica, the City of Gold. This is WA4KM closing out the net for the W4AMI Tuesday night. SAMRC, that stands for the Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net. And guys, appreciate it. Thanks for all the guys that hung around and was patient, and for the comments about Mr. Bill and Ben and Susan, and of course their daughter and the grandkids. Y'all please keep them in your prayers. And before I close, we'll just close it out, and I'm going to send it to Sam first, though, and make sure that if he's got anything he'd like to add. Sam, long list tonight, but a great net. So KF4TXQ, this is WA4KM.
All right, WA4KM, Villa Rica, great net for sure. And we had great conditions, and maybe the Almighty was looking after us, giving us a good night to celebrate Ben. And I tell you what, you did a great job, Kevin, and this is what AM radio ought to be all about. So I think we did it, and I'm proud to be part of it. So thanks a lot. Eat you something good for supper, and have a good breakfast in the morning. This is KF4TXQ, Dadeville, Alabama. 73's one and all. Keep your eyes on the skies and diddly-da-dee-da.
Good evening, Sam. Great to hear you. KN4HA.
Good to hear you, Bob. You're sounding fine from up there in Woodstock.